Hey, it's the starting five with Yaron Weitzman. This week, we are talking the Western Conference. There are, by my count, 7 teams that have a legitimate shot at representing the conference in the finals. Here are 5 questions that will determine which team emerges from the bunch. Number 1, has LeBron lost his legs? Now, look, I don't want to get into any Wash King narratives here. And also, to be clear, nobody ever said LeBron was washed. You can check the stories. You can check the tape. You can check the Twitter. Ben Rohrbach at Yahoo Sports did a great thing on this. No one ever called him washed. That said, it is fair to wonder whether he has lost some explosion. Here are some numbers that are worth looking at. He's averaging just 4.3 free throws per 100 possessions. That's a career low. His previous career low was 7.8. Another number, 38% of LeBron's shots have come from behind the three-point line. That's 7% more than last season, which already represented a career high. He's also hit just 66% of his shots at the rim. That's still an above average rate, but it's the lowest mark he's put together since his rookie year. Now, look, none of this is to say that LeBron is at fault for the Lakers' slow start. The Russell Westbrook trade has been a disaster, as we all predicted. His fit with LeBron and alongside Anthony Davis has been a mess. There's no spacing. The offense is completely cramped. When LeBron, AD, and Westbrook share the floor, they've been outscored by 11.3 points per 100 possessions. And it's not like Westbrook is lifting the Lakers when LeBron is out. That group has been outscored as well. If you're looking for who to blame for the Lakers' slow start, it's ownership and general manager Rob Pelinka. They made a mistake not going for Buddy Hield and choosing Westbrook instead. They also made a mistake not bringing back Alex Caruso for luxury tax purposes. And look, we've all seen LeBron carry all sorts of pathetic rosters to the finals before, and I'm wary of even questioning whether he's done. He's still great and he's still LeBron James, but it is fair to wonder whether he's still capable of single-handedly carrying a clunky roster to the finals. Number 2, which injured stars return to the court? Let's start with the Golden State Warriors, who have not only survived, but also thrived without Klay Thompson. They have the league's top record, best point differential, top defense, and second best offense. Steph Curry has to be the MVP favorite right now. Draymond Green has the defense synced up and locked in. And now we hear that Klay Thompson, according to The Athletic, has resumed 5-on-5 activity and could return as soon as Christmas. The Warriors look incredible right now. If Klay comes back and looks anything like the Klay Thompson of old, the Warriors have to be the favorites in the conference. Of course, Golden State isn't the only contender missing a superstar. The Los Angeles Clippers are missing Kawhi Leonard, who is still recovering from ACL surgery that he underwent over the summer. The Clippers at 10-7 have done a great job at treading water without Kawhi. Paul George has played like an MVP, and head coach Ty Lue has the defense ranked number 2. He's using all types of fun, small ball lineups to smother opposing offenses. The thing with the Clippers is they have a certain ceiling unless Kawhi returns. And one thing we know about Kawhi is that he is going to be cautious when it comes to his body. But if he is able to return to the court, this team is one that none will want to face in the playoffs. Then there's a situation in Denver, and no team has had worse injury luck than the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, of course, has missed the entire season due to an ACL tear he suffered last April. Michael Porter Jr., fresh off a mega extension, has been dealing with a back issue, and according to Mike Singer of the Denver Post, he could actually miss the rest of the year. Nikola Jokic, reigning MVP, has missed a few games with a wrist injury. Taking all this into account, it's actually incredible that Denver is 9-8. And look, here's the thing with Denver. When all healthy, Denver might actually be the best team in the NBA. The quartet of Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Jokic, and Porter Jr. destroyed teams last season. They only played 5 games together after the Nuggets acquired Gordon at the trade deadline. But in those 5 games, they outscored opponents by around 18 points per 100 possessions, an incredible mark. That stretch showed that this group can win a title. But to have a chance, Denver is going to need at least 3 of them on the floor together. Number 3, can KP and Luka coexist? This one is fairly simple. Yeah, the Mavericks are 9-7, but they actually have a negative point differential this season, which means that they've gotten lucky with some of their wins. How have they won games despite being outscored? 1, Porzingis has played well without Doncic on the floor. And also Luka's late game magic has helped rescue the Mavs in a number of close games. But for the Mavericks to get where they want to get, they're going to need their 2 pillar stones to learn how to coexist. So far, they have not been able to do so. Here are the numbers. When Luka and KP share the floor, the Mavericks are actually being outscored by 12.7 points per 100 possessions. When Luka's on the floor without KP, they're being outscored by 4.4. When KP's on the floor without Luka, they actually have a positive net rating right under half a point. Yeah, it's a small sample size and all that, but we are in year 3 of the Porzingis-Luka partnership. It's time for the two of them and the Mavericks organization to learn how to get the two of them to thrive and lift up the entire team. Number 4, can the Jazz be this year's Bucks? Utah is in a similar position as Milwaukee was last season. We know what they can do in the regular season. None of us care anymore. It's time to see what they can do in the playoffs. The good news for Jazz fans is that Utah seems to be aware of this. They're experimenting more than ever. They're switching pick and roll sometimes. They have Donovan Mitchell running more pick and rolls, taking more threes off the dribble, things that we really haven't seen a ton of in previous seasons. At their foundation, Utah remains the same. On offense, they're going to drive and kick you to death. They're going to shoot a ton of threes. On defense, they're going to funnel all ball handlers into Rudy Gobert and let him anchor their defense. But being willing to experiment and adding some versatility and variance could really benefit them. We've seen multiple postseasons now where opponents have gone small, dragged Rudy Gobert out to the perimeter, and punctured the Utah defense. We've also seen that their driving kick, egalitarian offense can be stopped in the playoffs. It's time for Utah to take the next step, and in order to do so, they need to treat the regular season as sort of a lab for the playoffs. Number 5, can the Suns keep rising? And look, the better question here is probably, should the rest of us stop ignoring the Phoenix Suns? They represented the West in last year's finals, and what have they done this year? Won 13 games in a row. They have everything you look for in a contender. Shot makers like Devin Booker, other offense generators like Chris Paul, an incredible 3-and-D guy like Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton in the middle. They've even shorn up their second unit a bit with the addition of, don't laugh, JaVale McGee, multiple rings holder, by the way. The Suns are awesome. They have one of the league's best defenses. They're well coached. They're really good on offense. The question for them is, can they maintain this pace throughout the season? And can Chris Paul, who has had a scoring and usage go down this season, continue to remain healthy throughout the year? And most importantly, be healthy come playoff time. If you were to ask me at this point of season, about 20 games in, who I'm going with, it's the Golden State Warriors. They look too good. Steph looks too good. Draymond looks great. And Klay Thompson appears set to return any week now. To me, they have to be the favorites. That's the starting 5 with Yaron Weitzman. Be sure to keep your eyes on Fox Sports Digital for more great NBA content.